What do you think is the future for Tua? You think he's the long-term answer for the Dolphins?
I don't, and I hate to say that because I sat here a couple of years ago extolling his virtues because I believed in him, but ultimately some of the same issues that befell him in college are bothering him in the pros to even a larger degree. So I'm an analyst in college football. I love the NFL. I'm not as smart as well, nobody's as smart as Keyshawn Johnson.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to
Your
say that.
guy.
So I'd be looking around down in Miami.
Yeah, I think they are going to take a look, Paul and Jeff. Right now he's there, but if something comes along that's better, they're certainly going to move on for him. And this
Like a
is
Deshaun Watson better?
A clear indication. You mentioned Charlie, Deshaun Watson. It tells you right then and there.
Yes.
Brian Flores was basically Deshaun Watson basically helped Flores see the door because they couldn't acquire him based on a number of things, and that's what Flores wanted to do. Chris Greer obviously wasn't on board as much as we have thought, and now look where the Miami Dolphins are. They're going to be looking for a quarterback real soon come free agency.
Yeah, listen, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, this is really what probably sent Flores packing. And Keyshawn, you just said it. Like, Chris Greer believes that Tua's the guy. But what's crazy to me is he had to beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick was playing good, and they basically handed him the job, which you feel like probably came down from the top. And then as it's gone on, they seemed like they wanted to replace him. And whether it was Flores or Greer or Ross or whoever, however it looked, it always felt like they're trying to move on to somebody they feel like can do something more for their franchise. Now, can Tua continue to develop as a quarterback and become a very good quarterback? I believe that's possible. But right now in the NFL, when you're at that 9-10 win type team where Miami is, nobody's patient. They want to see that quarterback take that step, take that team to the next level. He has not done that. And look, their offensive line is not good. I'm not trying to say it's all his fault. They do have good positions around him with speed, but that offensive line has to get better for any quarterback. But when I looked at it, there's nothing about, I could understand why Flores wanted to move on. There's nothing about his game in the NFL that says, man, he's going to hoist this team on his shoulders and carry you to that 2 or 3 victories that you need from your quarterback if you want to be a playoff caliber team. Just hasn't happened yet.
Well, Deshaun Watson wasn't going to play this season regardless, so I don't see why that should rest on Brian Flores' shoulder. But, Keyshawn, with that, I want to ask you, Tua, you think if he doesn't play for the Dolphins next year, where does he go? What is his ceiling? Is he a starter still?
I think he is a starter in the National Football League, but he has to be with a team like that is asking to run the ball, play solid defense, and for him to make 1 or 2 nice throws in a game. That's who he is. He is not, you're not looking at Aaron Rodgers. You are not looking at a guy who is one of those type of quarterbacks that is going to be the lead reason you win games, the lead reason you go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
He is a piece to a team, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. I won a Super Bowl with a quarterback named Brad Johnson that didn't make the mistakes, did everything right when we needed him to, made all the throws, and was a leader. You can flourish doing that. It's a lot like the Baker Mayfield situation. They can win in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield if he stays healthy and they don't ask him to do too much.
Yeah. The problem, Key, in all of that conversation is that teams, they don't script the way that we did in the past, right? So much of their game plan is reliant on the quarterback making those plays, where when you and I were playing, it could venture off to another player. It was the run game's going to have to do that. Defense is going to have to do. Think about the Baltimore Ravens and how good they were early 2000s. With Trent Dilfer and that whole, their defense was, they shut folks down. Like, there are teams, the Tampa Bay teams that you played on, like good defenses, okay offenses. Like right now, everybody wants these quarterbacks to go light it up for 30 a game, and not everybody's equipped to do that.
But
like
Jeff,
you said, there are good quality starting quarterbacks, but you, as a coaching staff, you have to be committed to running the football and protecting your quarterback from himself at times. I don't understand why that's an indictment on quarterbacks. That's every other player in the NFL. We all got strengths and weaknesses. Accentuate our strengths and limit our weaknesses. That's what a coach's job is. I think we've gotten away from that to a degree.
Jeff, can he be? Now listen to me now, Jeff.
We do have to wrap up the conversation, so make this quick.
Early Russell Wilson in Seattle. Early Russell Wilson. Can he be that?
Ooh. I don't know. I think just below that. I think just below that for me.
Okay, well, Dolphins owner Stephen Ross says that they don't intend on moving away from Tua, but of course he's going to leave that final decision up to the next head coach. So we will just wait and see what happens on that front. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. You have been a delight as always.
See you, Paul.
See you guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.